No.
In my dreams, I see you, I feel you. That is how I know you're girl.
Magic. Absolute magic.
Back to me because we had a special request from Ophelia. Commented on that reel you tagged me and she's like, I need to see you guys singing this to each other. And I was like, we low-key did in DMs.
Well,
American accent version of it.
oh, well, isn't it in an American accent? Or no?
Australian accent either, or is it?
No, wait, no, Celine Dion. So that's is she Canadian? She's Canadian, French Canadian.
Like a bogan accent, like a real hard South accent.
I can't do accents. I cannot do it. Let me try.
Try for Ophelia.
I don't know. No, I can't.
It's nerve-wracking when you're on the spot. That's why I couldn't do it at Christmas. I had to just launch in. Otherwise,
You had to just go.
It's scary.
Near, far. Wherever you are,
I believe the heart
goes on. Oh yeah,
I gave
that's that old missionary when we were out in the doing our missions, doing the human videos. Did you guys
came to me naturally in the moment? Moved by your dolce tones. Why was it so breathy? It was like
I don't know. I don't know. I had pasta and there's cheese in the pasta, I think is what happened.
But I've heard you sing now on your reels and you have a secret beautiful voice, which I knew you would. I knew you would in real life.
Well, thank you. Yes, I only whip it out every once in a while when I'm feeling good and princessy.
Clearly not this morning.
No.
But there you go, Ophelia. Don't say we don't listen to our listeners' requests.
Please, listeners, please don't do that to us again.
Oh, how are you, my lovely friend?
I'm good. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Yes.
I know we just jumped right in with that gorgeous, haunting, lovely serenade.
Are you haunted by that?
I'm gonna just wake up. But yeah, welcome to the show. Welcome to Of the Publishing Persuasion. I'm Angela Montoya, author of Sinner's Isle, that's coming out this year, fall of 2023. Yes, it is. And I am here with this bad bitch that's giving energy. She is giving rock star. She's giving. That's it. Like she is here. If her freaking idol RuPaul came sauntering in right now, RuPaul would give the snaps. Does RuPaul even do the snaps?
I don't know. I don't think so. Now that you ask, I don't know.
No, I don't think RuPaul does the snaps. I don't know where that reference came from, but RuPaul would say yes.
Yes, I would not be told to sashay away. I would be told to stay and slay another day.
Oh, yes. No, I've heard that there's a new season of Drag Race and that I have to watch it this time. So I'm gonna...
or another one is coming that I don't know about yet.
My sisters just recently watched it, or maybe they're just watching like the newest one. I don't know, but they were cracking up because like they kept saying like the drag queens really drag people. I mean, when they have like like comebacks or like say something to each other, I
Yeah.
mean, they snap. And so, yeah, my sister were literally on the floor at the comebacks that the drag
Yes.
queens have for each other. So I really have to watch.
You have to, and I keep telling you, it is literally your humor. Like I know it's not the older ones was a mistake to start with, but they really pick up later. And it's just there's actually a whole challenge based on that. They do the library and they read each other. So they'll be like,
Oh,
"Oh, Angela, wish you could keep a plant alive." Like they'll just like, "Oh, look at go.
yeah.
Oh, I've got a snake plant. See, now that was a
Yes.
snake plant for you because you can't kill that one."
I haven't yet. I have not yet. No, yeah, I need to get into the drag race.
Yes.
I just finished. I don't know if you've ever watched it or heard of it, Meteor Garden.
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it yet. Is it good?
Okay. So I guess there's different versions, but I watched the Chinese version. So it's based in
Ah,
Shanghai. And Melanie, there's 49 episodes. There's 49, I think.
and you watched them all.
Melanie, I watched them all. I watched them all in a week, Melanie. I don't know.
What's the format? What's the show about? I'm so impressed right now.
So, thank you. So, to be honest, I'm it was bad. Like it was so good, so bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like it's about these college kids and okay, the guy is part of this badass group of four boys. Like they walk in and the girls are screaming because they're part of the bridge team. They play cards and they're good at it.
Oh,
And
no.
so,
I love this journey for you, by the way. This sounds
yeah.
so dorky, but like,
Oh,
is it all the YA vibes? I'm feeling a lot of angst.
yes. It's so all angst. And so they walk in and you know that song that
Yeah,
like a river, shut your well, however it goes. Do you know that song?
kind of.
Okay, sorry. So that song plays every time, and then they walk in like to the song, and the girls are like, "Oh my gosh!" And so basically, it's about this gawky freshman girl,
Mm.
and you know the hot shot god of college, like it pays her attention, but he's so mean to her. He's so rude because he's like this rich boy, and he has like he's never had a real relationship but literally it's so toxic. It's so,
Yeah.
so toxic. But I gobbled it up. I devoured.
I'm gonna have
Like
to put it on my list.
yeah. I mean, looking back, so bad. Like the
You
the
liked that? You're gonna love the K-drama Boys Over Flowers. It had
oh
kind
yeah.
of dorky, angsty. Actually, the plot line sounds the same, kind of like the dorky, poor, like she's out of place with all these rich kids and the like rich fifth generation chaebol. Have you watched enough K-drama to know fifth generation chaebol yet?
I don't think so. No.
I'm probably mispronouncing it. It's like the fifth generation rich kid something.
Okay, yes.
Chaebol's a big thing in K-drama. You need to watch more if you don't know what it is.
It's
Watch
the elite. The
okay.
elite.
I think it's like, yeah, the elite, but I should have Googled it before I tried to reference it. I understood it as like, yeah, like a very rich title. It's like a title.
Hmm,
Maybe they still have titles when they're rich. Anyway,
maybe because we
Chaebol,
don't know.
it's like such a trope in K-drama. The Chaebol,
Yes.
tortured rich Chaebol who's a bastard, but their heart is pure. So they're just acting like a bastard because they were tortured by their father who paid them no attention. Is it the same? Yeah.
Yes.
So they seem like an a-hole, but this one girl unlocks their sweet,
Yep.
sensitive, primal side, and they're so protective over her, and they low-key love it. Everyone low-key loves it.
Yeah, yeah. One of those things. Like I saw, I don't remember what the sound or what it was from, but it was like I am a hardcore feminist until these come into play, and I'm like, yes. Like in real life, no, but on the screen, in like even in books, I will, yes, give it to me.
I know. Have you seen we've just descended into K-drama
Yes.
on Netflix. Have you seen yet Singles Inferno?
No, is that a reality show?
Yeah, you'll gobble that up. It's a Korean dating show and
Oh, yeah.
it's so freaking good. There's 2 seasons, so you're welcome. It's like
Oh, shoot.
it's like Byron Bay. Okay, Byron Bays is a bad example, but like Love Island Paradise or something, but
Okay.
with just the way it's been directed, it feels different. It's more, and I don't know, they feel more genuinely there to form connections. It's still, I gobbled it up anyway. It's so
Okay.
and there's hosts, and the hosts just get you more excited about everything that's happening.
Oh, cool. Okay, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna look. I honestly, like, I miss my Byron Bays. I need some Australian something. I don't know if there's like a lot of Australian stuff on Netflix. I'm gonna have to start looking
There's Married at
because
First Sight, but I don't recommend it. It's like,
okay.
it's basically just descended into Insta hoes who just go on to boost their profiles. And I
Yeah.
watched a couple seasons and it just got worse and worse and worse. I used to like Farmer Wants a Wife, which was like they'd it's like these country boys like out in the middle of nowhere, so they can't possibly meet a nice woman. And
Sure. Yeah.
so they like have these women come to them as part of the show, and then they like try form a relationship with one of them. It's a bit brutal though, because like the girls tend to all, they've like picked these like, you know, the guy is always like this one beacon in the field, and all the girls are like fighting over him, which is kind of, you know, gross. But it's something I hated about The Bachelor, when everybody gets like catty about it. And but I guess that's what people live for.
It's popular. It's been around.
It's been around. But back to writing things.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Went on a tangent there.
Never apologize. Those are my favorite tangents. Actually, my friend said to me the other day, she's not a writing friend, and she was just like, I've just been catching up on the pod, and she's like, I don't know if this will make you like happy or like, I hope you'll lol, but she just watches these bits, like us being
really
together. She lives for this part.
That is the coolest. That is the sweetest. I love it.
Yeah,
yes.
It made me really happy, because I always thought people might skip over our bullshit to get to the guest.
Yeah. Yeah, I did too. I just assumed like, well, but then like I'll hear like random people will say something to me like in a comment or something about something we've talked about, and I'm always like shocked.
Same.
And it always like surprises me anybody listens. Every time I'm like, you remember that? Wow, that is amazing. Thank you. So yeah, I guess people listen, so that's good.
Yeah, and it's funny, like people find, like Court tagged us today in Isabel's episode.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it made me so happy that like an episode from like a month ago can still, and from even further, sometimes people will be like, oh, I just got caught up with this one. Just makes me happy that it still finds people later, like when they needed to hear something that guest had to offer, or something in our clowning around or whatever. But it's just, it's nice. It's nice.
It is.
How.
Yeah, I was happy to be back. I mean, we took a few weeks off, and now we're in this new season, or whatever we're gonna call it.
I'm officially calling it Sinner's Isle season, because it is the season. Basically, at this point, our sights are set on the sleigh ride into publication for Sinner's Isle.
Yes, it's happening. It is happening.
How are you feeling?
I feel like I honestly only this last maybe 2 weeks I've really felt good. Like, I mean, not that I felt bad,
No.
but I feel really kind of just calm and excited more than anything. I think I'm going into it like I'm sure, I think I said this before, but not that I don't have low expectations, but I'm not going to put these high expectations. Like, if this doesn't happen, then I'm not going to be happy, So I'm just like going into it. Honestly, Susan Lee really, really, her words really stuck with me about just like celebrating. And even Kyla mentioned that, like, just celebrating this year, because it's the only time it's gonna happen for me. And so just celebrating all of these little things. And so I just feel excited. And it's like, whatever readers find the book and they love it, then it was the book for them. And if people don't like it, then it wasn't the book for them. And that's fine. And I'm going to be like Kyla, I'm deleting Goodreads, all of that. So I feel at peace and excited, and I'm just ready for people to see the cover. I'm ready for all those fun things. I know, I can't wait. And so I'm ready for all the fun things. And one thing I was kind of like, don't be a dummy, was my cover's not out, obviously, but like, all, those big lists of like books we're excited for, like the big buzzy book lists.
Yeah.
Well, obviously Sinner's Isle wasn't on anything.
Because there's no cover.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just because there's not a cover to like put on there. It's not really, and it's a ways away. So like there was no list. And that's like, at first I was like, I want to be on something, but really I don't like it. That doesn't matter. Yeah, that's where I'm kind of feeling like I'm not on it yet. I'm adding the yet. And I still have so much time. And to me, it's what really matters is that the people that have been following me along and like listening to us on the podcast, that we're all excited. And so I don't care about the lists. They'll come. And I shouldn't, like, I had my little poo-poo day, but I think I was having a poo-poo day about many things.
Yeah.
And so, but no, today I feel great. I'm excited just about all things.
Just you wait. As soon as that cover drops, it's going to be on lists, because I mean, and I know, like, I think your mindset that you're going into it and not putting this expectation on it is wise, because like, it's so unpredictable, and a lot of times it's not even based on the work, it winds up being it's some of it's just chance and luck. But I suspect that, was there any books on those lists that didn't have covers yet?
I don't think so. So I'm okay. Yeah. So I'll be fine.
As they put it together, they might assume that it's like still far off if the cover isn't out yet or something.
Yeah. Like I honestly, I feel like when the cover is revealed, when pre-orders are ready, people will get excited. And I'm really looking forward to that.
If you ever doubt it, just go look back at our giveaway for your advanced release copy that doesn't even exist yet. Just look through those comments whenever you doubt that there's like readers who have it on all those lists in their hearts, because that was a glorious, glorious moment where we did our giveaways. And I mean, our account is still relatively small for the podcast, but the traction that post got with your beautiful artwork, what's the artist's name again?
Riley Quinn.
That beautiful artwork she did, and people are ready. They are thirsty for this.
Thirsting, yes. They need to also be prepared, because Melanie Schubert is coming in hot. She's got books. She is coming in hot. She's got books, and amazing ones. And how are you feeling like going into 2023?
I also had like maybe pre-Christmas or over Christmas, like really down days as well, where I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know why we have to ride that roller coaster as writers, but it seems like inevitable that I have to go from, this is a steaming pile of shit that has no place anywhere, to this is the greatest thing ever written. Like, it is that extreme, the variation between the two. And yeah, like, I think I was feeling like it was daunting, like coming to the end of the year and feeling like, oh, I didn't get an agent this year. But then as the years ticked over into 2023, I'm like, yeah, but you already have a book ready to query now. So even though it's like, maybe not going to get an agent with Soul Swapped, maybe still will, I don't know. To be honest, I haven't queried it that widely. That's the truth. But I blame Para for that. Jessica Para is to blame because my list of agents that I query now is very small, like realistically, because I'm still kind of trying for that, you know, big dream agent, and still feel like that could be an option for me in 2023.
Yes.
But I don't know, like going through yours and Para's feedback and doing this revision, like honestly, I thought I was gonna just breeze through quickly, get it in the trenches. But when I really sat down and digested Para's feedback, Jess Para, whose book is also coming out this year, my friends.
Yes, it is.
Ruby Ramos, Recipe for Success. Yeah, like going through that feedback and actually digesting it and being like, yeah, like she's on the money with some of her bigger, it's not even that there was big changes, even as she said, like there's a lot, but not really. Like the core story, she didn't feel like needed anything changed, but I'm realizing I'm a real underwriter. Like my drafts tend to be quite gaunt when I do them. It's like I'll start with a 60,000 word draft. I'll start with like a 50,000 word draft and then bulk it up in revisions. But yeah, just the way I'm taking the time to fill it out now, but I'm really just living in my cave because I do want to get queries out before the end of January. But
nice.
Every chapter I've felt more excited. Like it's just it's funny. You know what it's like, this journey. Like there's just moments where you're just like, why am I doing this? Yes. And then it flips and you're just like, there's that buzz again. And I'm kind of in that place now, which is really nice, where I just feel this buzz of like anything could happen. And I feel that buzz of like, this is my proudest work to date. This is like, and it's kind of like what Kyla said in our interview, that like if you're writing what you love, like that's the main thing, because you're going to have to go over and over it. And so yeah, I feel really excited to get this one in the trenches, but I'm also like you said, I'm kind of not hanging everything on it either. I'm not like, this is the one. Like I feel like historically every time I wrote something, I'd be like, this is it. This is the one. It's gonna get it for sure. Whereas now I'm more like, I'm really proud of where my writing's at. My friends are really proud of where my writing's at. And so I'm just going to keep writing these ideas as they come to me, and hopefully one sticks with the right person. And it feels a lot more, it's more, even though I have those roller coasters, it's steady ground to be on because you just keep going. Do you know what I mean? I feel like you've reached that far as well. Like whatever happens with your books, you're like, yeah, but I'm doing this. And if this one doesn't pop off, maybe that one will. And it's not even about popping off at all anymore anyway. Like I just love that I get to do this. I hope that my books can find the right readers, and it doesn't even have to be some like New York Times bestseller. If it is, awesome. I'll ride that wave one day. I'll ride it.
Yes.
We will gladly ride that wave. But also just realizing, no, like I do this because it brings me joy. My community of writing brings me joy. And yeah, that's something that no one can take from you once you realize the core of why you do something. And so yeah, even though I have those ups and downs or whatever, it's just part of this journey, and I feel lucky to do it, you know. So
that's it, right? But I love that. I love that. And I think even for me, like going into debut year, I think a big mind like shift I had was realizing that this is just one book. This is just the first, but it's not the only. And that was really freeing, of just like, I love Sinner's Isle. I hope it does well, but there's more coming. You know, I'm going to keep going and hopefully just keep getting better, like you've been doing with yours. And so I love that. I think it's just the part of the fun is the challenge of getting better, and really like doing our draft race, this fast draft that we did. We produced these books, and they're books, like they're
Yeah.
already like almost fully fleshed out, almost completely revised books that are, you know, like going to the query trenches or to my editor next month. And it's really, it's freeing to know it's just one book. There's going to be more, and we're just going to keep going.
Mm.
And that's the fun of it. That's the beauty of it, is you know, it's, you can keep writing until you run until you run dry. Like you can just keep
And
going.
you never run dry if you keep filling that well. Like realistically, you could like that fear of like running out of ideas. It's not actually a real, it is not a real idea, because tomorrow you could see a reel about a bearded dragon and be inspired to write this story about, you know, this whatever, like a middle grade with a shedding bearded dragon and whatever it is. Like, as long as you're always like living, you will always have new ideas, you know. And I don't think there is run dry, like not if you feed it. As long as you feed your creativity, there's always going to be another story that can be written, you know. And you're definitely getting like better and better and glorious things coming from the Montoya. People are not even ready. But I agree about draft race though, and like I hope you're ready, because as soon as I start querying Beyond Love, The Knight in Rusted Armor, my paranormal rom-com, nice. just putting that out there.
Like it, yeah.
As soon as I get that into the trenches, I want to fast draft my new YA, the spooky rom-commy as well, but also a little bit darker. So low-key penciling in a potential draft race February, late February. Like
let's go. I'm ready. I will start like getting my brain not yet. I got to finish revising, but then I'm going to start focusing, zeroing in, new book, ready. Boom.
Yeah. What's your goal for finishing this revision?
Of my monster book?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just yeah. I have to get like it's due in February. Okay. And so after that, then my next book I want to fast draft it and get it going. It's going to be my first like adult sexy novel. And I think I was going to have it be vampy, but I think they're going to be like fallen gods. So I'm ready. Yeah. Like in this, I'm going to set it like in like Little Women era and have it being in a manor. And it's like, I have ideas.
To the one I read.
It's gonna be very similar to that, like that vibe, that dark, mysterious vibe. So, yeah,
like
so I'm excited.
Gothic-y.
Yes, like Mexican Gothic meets Little Women meets Fallen. I don't know.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Fallen was the one you threw in, and my buddy was like, "Yes, ready." Dude,
I love that. I love that series.
It's so good. I found it randomly the other day, and I was just like, "Huh." I hear about this with like Hunger Games and Divergent and whatever. Like, it should be up there.
Yes. No, YA was hitting during that time. Like it was boom. So many amazing series that just I couldn't stop. So.
Yeah. And yours will
and yours is going to be next.
Oh, jinx.
We were thinking the same thing.
We will take it by storm. It's like,
yes, good things ahead. It's going to be a wild year. And I'm just excited. And the guests that we have coming on this year, it's just going to be fun. I really, really think this year, I mean, obviously not everything is always going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And that's just life. Like you said, just writing, just in general, you go through these waves, and
Mm,
that's absolutely okay. And you keep going.
yeah.
And you wait for days like this where you're like, yes,
Yeah.
those days make it worth it, you know?
Yeah, totally. And I feel like because like, honestly, the podcast has helped so much being able to have these kinds of conversations with people because, like you said with Susan, and I think the reason we hold on to that is because it's so easy when you have like the downswings to not trust the upswings and not let yourself fully lean into it. But I feel like the older I get, the more people I talk to, like when those upswings come and just like you're on fire, excited, I just lean into it now and fully enjoy it, ride out the bad waves and give myself permission to lean into the excitement and the fire. And like we've talked about this a couple times, but like that image of like the tortured artist and whatever, like sure, there's days of that. But if you hold on to that, I feel like it steals your joy from being able to do this. Like if you just fully hold on to that image of like, it's just pain, writing is pain. And like, this isn't like, oh, no one's going to want to read this. And like, if you just keep spiraling that, it's also, you can manifest that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. No more saying you have a little book. No more putting yourself down, your creativity down. Like none of that. We're not doing that. We're not putting it into the world. And I yes. And then also like when you are in those down times, to give yourself space to just not write, to
yeah,
just sit back, watch all the bad TV, whatever you have to do to just feel, I don't want to say normal, but like to
no,
feel, just to give yourself breath, a
100%.
little room.
That's
Yeah.
something, yeah, definitely trying to do more, like allow myself to sit with those dark days as well. But there's definitely like, it's like a whole thing, right? Like it's
Yeah.
a balance between like, you don't want to spiral too hard. But yeah, I tend to
Yeah.
find I have gotten good at like picking myself up and cheering for myself. So I do give myself those days now as well, where you just like you said, just binge the TV show, allow yourself. Like the other day I woke up and I was just like, I started the day ugly crying. I was just grumpy and I was like to my husband, I was like, I'm sorry you have to see me like this. Not that he's not used to my moods, but like I was particularly dark and I was like, in my body, I was like, the worst thing I could do right now is try be happy today. And so I gave myself the day. I gave myself the day and I was just like, ho hum, life is glum. Like I sunk into it for a moment. And by giving myself permission, like, yeah, you feel shit about this. Now have your moment. And by halfway through the day, I was like laughing and I was fine because I gave myself permission to feel that darkness and acknowledge, yeah, this is shit. But at a point, you're just like, YOLO, right?
Exactly. YOLO. You gotta keep going.
Are
Shit.
kids still saying that these days? Although I don't know why we measure ourselves by what the kids these days are saying. If I want to keep YOLO going, I'm going to keep it going.
You do that, Melanie. You rock that. Keep it going. Keep it alive.
I'll bring back like rad and totally sick while I'm at it.
Yes, please. Please do. Well,
Yay.
speaking of someone totally rad,
Yes.
we
Oh, bless
do
you.
have someone that's super bitchin',
Yeah.
super dope, super cool.
We're just
Kyla Zhao.
getting to know her. Like, let's be honest. Kyla Zhao is a living legend, in my opinion. And I feel so lucky and happy to start our first episode of the year with this glorious human.
That's it right there. Do you want to read her bio, Melanie?
I surely will. I don't know why I'm suddenly Irish.
She surely will.
To be sure, to be sure. I don't even know if they trill their R's like that, but anyway.
Jamie Fraser did, but he's Scottish, so never mind.
I don't know what accent you were doing just then, but I live for
I told you I'm bad at it. I told you I can't do accents.
I still love it. Before Zoom cuts us off, so Kyla Zhao, born and raised in Singapore, Kyla Zhao graduated in 2021 from Stanford University with an MA in Communications, Media Studies, and a BA in Psychology. That's why she's so wise. I always forget that. I mean, I'm sure she was wise before that, but she always has extra. She comes at it from wise.
She does.
Right now, she works in marketing at a tech company in Silicon Valley, California. Besides novel writing, Kyla has an extensive magazine editorial portfolio. Previously, she was a fashion and lifestyle writer at Vogue Singapore. She has also written for the Singapore editions of Harper, Bazaar, and Tatler, covered the Asian Television Awards, and interviewed personalities such as singer Nathan Sykes. Sorry, I don't know how to say that. The Y and the K side by side threw me.
Just got you. They got you.
Sykes. Is that right? Nathan Sykes.
Yeah.
Above all, Kyla hopes to champion Asian rep in her works and write the characters of color she rarely got to read about when she was young.
I love it.
Kyla Zhao. I literally have to click out of your face, so I can't watch your face when I read. I cover it with like the internet search, because if I see your face, I can't keep a straight face while I read the bio. I don't know why.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, great. So I'm having power issues and internet issues because of the storms. Angela, I don't know if you're affected in Sacramento.
Yeah, it hasn't been as bad for us up here. Mostly like trees falling into houses and stuff, but nothing like in the Bay where it's just flooded. Is that where you're at, pretty much in the Bay?
Yeah, it is. And my friend lives in San Francisco, and he saw people surfing in the streets because of how flooded it was. It's crazy.
Yeah. California, we weren't meant for this. We don't know how to do it. And you know, we were asking for rain, now we're ready to give it back.
Exactly.
But how are you? I mean, I'm looking behind you at the
I know.
Hair. Yeah, is this too distracting? Should I change it?
No. I'm feeling a little flustered looking at the gentleman to your, I guess it'd be your right.
Oh yeah, the half button shirt.
Yes. It's really cool just to have you back after, gosh, I don't even know. I think you were one of our very first, third or fourth guest, I want to say.
Yeah, like your podcast has been around for like, whoa.
I know. Isn't that the weirdest thing? Time just freaking flies. And here we are all this time later, and you're getting ready to debut. I mean, it's next week, right? Tuesday?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's next Tuesday.
Oh my gosh.
How do you feel going into this sleigh ride that's about to happen?
I feel really nervous and terrified. I'm afraid that my book is going to flop. I think it's like pretty normal feelings of like self-doubt. But at the same time, I'm kind of just ready for it to come. And then, I'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's absolutely normal. I mean, anytime you let your baby out into the world, and I mean, readers have already been getting a glimpse and reading and reviewing and like obsessing over your book. But I mean, I can see where you would feel like Tuesday is the day where it's real. Like it's happening. And I go through that like on an hourly basis of like just wanting, like, just cancel this. Like, let's just not even like stop Sinner's Isle. We're done. We shouldn't. But I can assure you, from when I read it, all those many, many, many months ago, your book is going to absolutely blow up. I mean,
Thank you.
So damn good.
Thank you so much. But yeah, like some of a few other authors from my publisher, they were actually advising that I take the day off and just like, soak it in.
Yeah.
But I decided not to. And I think I'm pretty grateful for that, because I feel like if not, I'll be thinking too much about it. But if I go to work, I'm distracted by what's going on in the office, and I wouldn't really have time to like freak out. So yeah,
I think I think everybody has, right, their ways of coping.
different coping. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I know Jessica Parra probably yesterday or the day before, like in a group message was telling Melanie and I, like, just to remember kind of like there's things beyond publishing. So like
Truly.
just going to work and being a normal person,
Yeah.
I think would be a great distraction.
I love
Yes.
that. It's like, what did Kyla do on debut? I went to work on the day. It's like
Truly.
cutest, but like this is the thing. We all have to own like what's self-care for us, you know? And
Mhm.
for someone that might feel worse, but if it feels like it's taking the pressure off, what a great,
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like when you walk into the office, if you have an office that you walk into,
I
they're
do.
gonna probably be celebrating for you.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I had a team meeting today, and then I was asked to talk about my book to this like team of, like all like engineers and data scientists and like super senior people, but everyone was really excited for me. And I mean, these are like middle-aged men, but they were like, "Yeah, I just pre-ordered your book. I'm so excited." I was like, "Oh,
That
that's
is the sweetest thing. I
I
freaking
know.
love it.
I was so touched. Like I'm pretty afraid about sharing these things with like non-authors. But
Mm.
yeah, everyone was like super encouraging and super supportive.
That is the sweetest thing. And I find that it's sometimes, not always, but like non-writer people and people that are just in your everyday life. And when you mention, yeah, I have a book coming out, like it's mind-boggling. They never met an author, and now here you
Yes,
are in your
that's so
freaking office.
true. Yeah, no, because I feel like, when you meet other people who know the industry or are part of the industry, they know they know about things like, how big the deal is. They care about things like that. They're like, oh, what's your imprint? What's a big five publisher? But to these people, like they don't know what Penguin Random House is, except that they were in news recently because of the whole merger falling through. But
Mm.
yeah, to them, it's just like you wrote a book. Like not many people can say that. So yeah.
That's it. That's it right there. It's beautiful, really. It's kind of like brings it all, humbles everything, and also makes the world just a little bit more, a little less scary. Like it's just like
Yeah.
you wrote a fucking book. That's amazing.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Can you give us a synopsis for our lovely listeners of your glorious book? Tell us all the things.
Okay, yeah. So, the short version is that it's set in Singapore. It's about a working class woman who pretends to be a socialite in order to get her dream job at the country's poshest and snobbiest magazine. So she enlists the help of her two friends, whom you see in the picture, to help her with her little fraud. But as she sinks deeper into her glamorous new world, her fears of being exposed as a fraud also deepen, especially when there are other socialites determined to bring her down and this mysterious gossip columnist that's hunting for high society dirt. And it can be compared to Crazy Rich Asians meets The Devil Wears Prada.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
those comps alone, like you cannot go wrong at
I feel
all.
like
I
I
also
said that little
get,
spill so much.
yes. I
Yeah,
also
you're
get,
professional.
is
Yeah.
it Bling Empire on Netflix? I also get Bling Empire vibes as well.
Yes, Bling Empire vibes. Anything that's like luxury and decadent, but also kind of like scandalous with like a lot of scheming going on. I think, yeah.
Oh yeah. No, we just recently binged on Bling Empire, and it's
Yes.
just so fun.
Is it season one or season two?
I've only watched the season one, but there's two. I think Melanie just did
Yes,
you?
I binge too. When it drops, I just gobble it up. I don't know why. I just love that. It's not like I don't have an obsession with being rich. So I don't know why I'm like, but I think it's that just like sheer mind blowing, like what
Yeah,
I'm going to get up to. You can't predict it. And
exactly.
and it's kind of magical, I guess, in a way, because it's such another world. And
Yeah.
I just gobble it up. I'm a total fangirl.
Yeah, no, there's this one character in season one called Kane, and he's
Yeah.
actually from Singapore, and I know someone who knows him, and
Oh,
some tea was spilled.
oh,
What?
Yeah.
Can you tell us, or is it secret?
It's not secret, but also it's like not verified. This is all just like things that were thrown around like a few years ago. So yeah, but definitely high society is like a really small world and everyone kind of knows everyone else and you really can't burn any bridges because what gets around.
that is just that's so fun.
Yeah, it's honestly a whole different universe. Like those people, they operate by different rules that are not even visible to us.
I love it. And that's why what's so fun about your book is you're giving us a glimpse into that world
Mm.
that a lot of us will never, unfortunately or fortunately, be a part of. You know, it would be nice, maybe, but yeah. But the book brings us there, which I love. So, what has been the most challenging part for you during this whole debut author process?
Mm.
Mm, I think just getting used to talking about my book, especially to non-authors, and also not trying to downplay myself. Because at some point I realized I had a habit of saying like, oh, like this book might not even be for you, like you might not even be a target audience. And then someone was like, wait, like why are you talking down your book like that? Like if someone asks you about it, it means that they are interested in getting to know more. So like just tell them very openly, and then they can form their own judgment about whether they want to read it. But you should never like, like downplay yourself from the very beginning because that just sets the tone. Yeah.
Hmm. That hits right now. Like, I feel that so often. Like, you really do feel like having to be, oh, it's just it's just a book. It's just this,
Yeah.
it's just that, it's this little thing. And no, it's not. It's not a little thing. It's
Yeah.
important, it's valuable. And that gave me chills because I find myself doing that all the time. And so thank you for speaking, for
Yeah.
saying that. And
No.
as a reminder, I think we always, and I feel like maybe women in particular, for
Mm.
some reason, always are just, oh, it's just this.
You're so
No, it's
right.
not.
Yeah. We have to have the confidence of like white men.
Yes.
Be shouting about this from the rooftop. Trust me.
Yeah. But I think the more we talk about it like this and encourage each other, because yeah, it is instinctive. You almost feel like vain or like narcissistic to like talk about your own success.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, you wrote a fucking book. It's gonna
Yeah.
be on the shelves in a week. Like you should be excited. But yeah, it's like that fear of like, oh, are they thinking this? Or like, do they think I'm up myself? But you know
Exactly.
what? The people who think that, I'm convinced that like those books aren't for them anyway.
Yeah, I think it says more about them than it does about us or about
I
our
think so.
books.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
I like
I'm
that as
excited.
well.
Oh, like the timing of the episode today, my email just said my copy shipped today.
Oh,
So
wait, mine too. I also got an email about it. I ordered my own book. And I
I
didn't even
would too.
order, yeah, and I didn't even order it with my author discount. I forgot that I had like an author discount on my own book, so I ordered it. And I actually have many copies of my book, so I don't even know what I'm gonna do with all these copies.
You could just put one in every single room. So every time, anywhere you go, you're like, yep, I did that. Uh-huh. That's
Yeah,
me.
I'm gonna put like multiple copies in the bathroom, so every time guests come and use our bathroom, they can be like, "You can just read my book while you're doing your business."
I feel like I have to bring up again book fairies because I feel like not enough people have heard about it. It's like just look up book fairies and they send you like stickers and bows and stuff for you have to pay for it, but like then it gives you an excuse to like leave your book places around the city or wherever.
Oh, I
Like,
didn't even know that existed. Oh,
yeah,
thank you for telling
people
me.
love it, and then you post about it. It's like another social media op to like post something, a picture of your book with like a pretty bow. It's like a present, and then
Yeah.
ideally people tag you when they find it. They go on like a little treasure hunt to, you can be like, this book's waiting in like a famous cafe in the middle of New York to one
Oh,
lucky
wow.
reader. It's just like an excuse to put your extra copies somewhere. So
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna just give it to like a school or something, but I also don't know if this is like school reading material. But yeah, like I like the suggestion now. I'm gonna
yeah,
look it up.
it's fun. It's so fun.
Something to add just a little more fun to the whole thing, right? Just like
Yeah,
a little sprinkling joy everywhere you go. I mean,
exactly.
might as well. What has been the best part of this experience for you so far?
Mm.
The best part is definitely getting reader reactions. So I've actually not been looking at any reviews online. I think that's the one thing that I think I did right, which is that from the very beginning, I was like, I'm not going to look at any online reviews. So I have no idea what's going on. But sometimes readers like tag me in like their comments or their social media posts. And every time it just makes my book seem a little bit more real, that they're like, people besides me like reading it and reacting to it. And that my story resonates with someone who's not me. So that's always really cool.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I know we have it down like a little bit lower about Goodreads, but you mentioned that you don't even go into Goodreads or your
I
reviews.
don't. No, I don't. My friend actually offered to tell me about like only the positive reviews, but like I know myself and I know that if I only hear the positive reviews, I'm going to wonder, okay, wait, so what are the not so positive stuff? And I just don't even want to think about it.
That's
Yeah.
smart. You know what? Like guard your heart, guard your freaking mental
Yeah,
health, all of it. Like don't even go there.
yes.
And the thing is, like, even if you're in a good mood and you're like, it's like going on Twitter. Well, does Twitter even still exist at this point? I don't know what's happening with that.
She's
But
still there. She's
she's
still there.
Yeah, she's still hanging on. It's kind of
she's saying,
impressive.
oh, it was kind of like Ghost Town when I went on last time. There was
Oh,
just
there's like a lot of discourse.
yeah.
Actually, I don't think it was that bad so far this year. Maybe I just missed most of it. But so far things have been quite
That's
tame.
good. Did it actually change or it's just everybody's freaking out about it changing, but it hasn't really?
I haven't noticed. I mean, I don't go
Yeah.
on it enough probably to notice. I'm more on TikTok and on there.
I love your TikToks, Angela.
Oh,
Oh,
thanks.
I love them.
I love yours. I'm always learning. But I TikTok is messy and I love it.
I know, I like love the mess.
You two are
Yeah.
brave. I'm honestly afraid of TikTok. Like, I feel like eventually I will be drawn in because everyone's there. But
Yeah.
I bow down because it seems very daunting. And yes, I don't know how
Yeah,
you
no, you get sucked in. Like
You
you
really
will get
do.
lost.
Yeah, there's like so many things to discover on a platform. It's amazing.
No, there's been some that Kyla's done because a lot of Kyla does is kind of more like pop
Yeah,
culture.
pop culture. Yeah,
And
exactly.
so I'll watch one of yours and then get lost in like learning more about what you've been talking about. And I'll lose a whole like hour and not know where I've been. You know, I've just been in like celebrity culture and it's really fun, but so bad, but so fun.
I know, like I started watching this video of like this bearded dragon, and then its owner was like removing some like shedding from his eye. Then I was just like, oh, I didn't know that bearded dragons were a thing. And then I was like, wait, I just spent 5 hours watching videos about bearded dragons and their shedding. Like, who am I?
Okay,
That'll
maybe
be in your next book though. Watch. There will be some sort of bearded dragon somewhere in one of
Yeah,
your books. You know,
yes,
hey,
bearded
it's
dragons
Easter.
over bearded men.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I like that. That's a good quote right there.
well, that
Yeah.
makes me really want to come on TikTok though, because that's my favorite kind of rabbit hole to go down. It's just like something fascinating, some fact I didn't know before, some animal I didn't know existed.
Yeah.
I might
That's
have
it
to
right there.
bring
Yeah.
it.
Is there anything you wish you would have done differently? Like looking back at this year and a half or however the hell long it's been, my brain doesn't even know. But is there anything you wish you would have done differently?
Um, no, I don't think so. I think things unfolded as they would have, and I wouldn't have changed. I mean, there are like small things, like I wish I organized my time better. I wish I juggled the schedule for this book better with my schedules for my other books. Because like when you have to work on three different books at the same time, like that gets very chaotic. But I think overall, I'm just letting myself enjoy the journey of being a debut author because it really only happens once in a life, right? And even if I were to release other books, like it's just going to be a little bit different, not being a debut author. So yeah, I'm just soaking it all in.
Wow, so you were working on three at the same time at one point.
Yeah, at one point, that was like pretty bad, like time management on my part.
Oh.
Were you staying away from TikTok during that time?
No, I was still on TikTok. That was the one thing that was keeping me sane. At night, I would just lie in bed and like scroll through TikTok, and it's good because I think on Twitter, because I only follow like other writers, so it makes it feel like a publishing bubble. But then on
Yeah.
TikTok, there's like it's such a big universe out there, and it's like, yeah, there's something bigger out there than just my book.
Yes. Yes. I think I think we've even mentioned this, like touched on this, but like remembering that there is an entire world beyond this thing that we so often like hyper focus on.
Yeah.
And like I was listening to the podcast Queries, Qualms, and Quirks with Sarah Frisk. And I was listening to it today, and I can't remember the guest, but she was fabulous. But she was mentioning just like to remember, like to have hobbies and friends outside of publishing.
Yeah.
Because at this point, like for me, my entire personality is publishing, and it was a great reminder that to go beyond that and to enjoy life, and enjoying life will actually make you a better writer.
Yeah.
And so like I love that, like I love having things like TikTok because you really can see everything. You see things you don't want to see sometimes.
Yes, that is true as well. But yes, going on TikTok is very humbling because when you go on Twitter or Instagram, everyone's like, "Oh, I'm so excited for your book," and you're like, "Yeah, like you're so hyped." Then you go on TikTok, and then a video of a bearded dragon shedding its skin gets like 4 million views, and then the video that you painstakingly create of yourself promoting your book gets like 40 views, and you're like, "Okay, I have been humbled."
It's true.
I never thought of it like that, but I'm going to think of that the next time one of my posts just flops and it gets like 2 views because
It's so normal. We cannot compete with those bearded dragons. It's an actual battle.
Yes.
We can't.
Send me the beard. Did you save it? I really want to see it now. You have to.
No, but it's a really famous account. I'm sure I can find a name and send it to you.
You have
Like
to.
all its videos are like so cool.
Because I'm fascinated now. But yeah, I know why you keep coming back to it, Angela, because it's because it's hard to remember. I think that's why we need this constant reminder, because getting into something creative like this, it can take up every part of your life, and having that like downtime. And even like for me, it hasn't been anything big or grand lately specifically. I've just been trying to like slow down and cook more slow meals. Like I don't even want the takeout sometimes, you know what I mean? So I'm like, if I trim back that I didn't need to write or edit 12 hours today, like trim it back, actually wash some dishes, make a flatbread, water my balcony garden. Sometimes it's just those little things, and you can find so much peace and joy in it, rather than my brain constantly, if I don't like actively stop it, my brain's always like, well, you could do this, you could make a reel now, you could do this, you could do this for marketing, you could put up a bio post, something always. And I think we're encouraged to do that, to create this profile so there's actually readers. But yeah, at the end of the day, you can have the big profile, and sometimes it's still only the bearded dragon's gonna win out.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, no matter how much we do, we always feel like we can do more. So I'm just like not even gonna fight that urge, but I'm just like, like I'll let myself feel that sometimes and then just learn to like ignore it.
Yes. Amen to that. I'm proud of you for saying
Same.
that. And that leads me into the next question, which is, what are you the most proud of? Like for yourself, what do you feel proud of, like when it comes to your book and just publishing in general? What makes you feel like, yes, Kyla did this shit?
Yeah, so one thing would be ignoring like online reviews. I am proud of it because I normally have very little impulse control. So the fact that I've made it for like an entire year without looking at anything, like I'm impressed by myself. What else? And I'm glad that I'm doing a good job of not falling into the comparison trap. And I think this is where it comes into play again. Like it really does help to remember that there are other people in your life beyond just writers, and that there are other things in your life also worthy of your attention besides writing and publishing.
Mm,
Yes, that is it right there. I love that. I feel
yes.
really nostalgic right now that we're having this episode. It's like 1 year since the last
Yeah,
one, and what an exciting time to have you on. And I just had
yeah.
my nostalgia moment.
No, for like, do you guys ever watch like Vanity Fair videos? So they do this video series with Billie Eilish, and they interview her like once every year, and they've been doing it for 6 years. And like, so you kind of watch her grow up, right? And like her career just like took off over the past few years. And so her life is like in a totally different point now. And it's, yeah, like it makes me feel nostalgic. Like she was so young when she started out, and she's still so young now, but she's now one of the biggest names in the world. It's like,
That's cool. I love that. But I like Billie Eilish in general. I think she's, I mean, obviously super talented and just one of those people that's always been down to earth.
Mm.
And I see that in you as well. I mean, you have this huge book coming out, like, and yet here we are just chatting again about bearded dragons and
Getting their skin.
and all of that stuff, and I really love that because it's been fun watching you navigate this writing world and just kill it. I mean, like the cover alone, like every time I'll stop and just stare at it because I'm like,
oh yeah, I have nothing to do with this. If you left the cover to me, like they would just be faceless blobs because I'm such a non-visual writer. And when my team asked me for like ideas, I was like, oh, I want something sparkly. And my characters are Asian. And that was it. And then they took those two sentences and turned it into like this. So
well,
I'm
you
a
got sparkles in there. You
that is
got the
true. Biggest
stars
sparkles. That was important.
and they're Asian. So you know what? You played a part.
Yes, that is true. 2 out of 2.
Did you get much say on the cover? Like, did they send you like blow by blow to look at?
Mhm. Yeah, pretty much. But I had like very few comments because like there was honestly no way to improve upon this.
Yeah.
I think one thing that did change and I still remember was that they made my main character's cleavage smaller. And I was like, that's important. Yeah,
Now I
and they
want
also
to see. Move your head. I want to see the cleavage. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. So she had a
she
boom.
was yeah, and my they also changed my male protagonist's gaze because he was like originally looking down and it looked like he was looking at her cleavage. And my editor was like, let's change it. And I was like, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, otherwise it would have been a whole different book. People
It
would have
would
been
have
going in thinking something else was happening here.
I'd pay for
yeah.
that book too. I'd pay for that too. Let's have a little Exy spin-off.
Yeah.
Yeah, add that. Just add a little extra novella of just like let's get some fanfic going.
Yeah.
I'm so down for that. Well, Angela and I were saying the other day we both want to write something more spicy. Maybe we need to get all our Pitch Wars fam together and do like a spicy anthology.
Exactly. A spicy like write-off where we just each write up
Yeah.
one spicy.
It's happening. So you mentioned working on 3 books.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 other books to talk about.
Mm.
One was about a chess champion, right?
Yeah, that's my children's novel and it's coming
Yes.
out in 2024. So about my chess book, I've been playing chess since I was a young girl. And you know, like chess is a very male-dominated game at every single age level. And the higher I rose, like the fewer girls there were. And that has kind of like always been on my mind. And the summer before college, I actually organized this national tournament for young girls. So that was fun. And then I just kind of when did I write it? Oh, this was my NaNoWriMo project in 2020. So it was actually the first month of Pitch Wars, and I did not work on my Pitch Wars book when I should have been. And instead, I was working on this NaNoWriMo novel, and that was like my first draft. But the interesting thing is that I sold this book as a young adult novel, and then
Really?
my editor asked to like age it down to middle grade.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. So I'm assuming it's kind of like it's about a young girl like going through chess tournaments and she's kind of learning to, I mean, she's obviously just gonna battle these guys out.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of like two main plots. So she makes a bet because she wants to prove a sexist teammate wrong.
Mm.
But at the same time, she's also struggling with her own like identity of what it means to be, like a chess prodigy and everyone's expectations of her and how she must handle all of that because that can get very overwhelming.
That
I can
sounds.
only imagine. I can only imagine what a chess prodigy. I'm
I
gonna
was
look
by
for your
no
book.
means a prodigy, but yeah.
I'm excited for that one, honestly. I really, really am. Can you tell us a little, what is that one called? What's the title?
May the best player win.
Yes. Okay. I'm obsessed.
Thank you.
I don't know if you could tell I'm fangirling already.
Thank you.
What is the second book that is it a sequel to okay.
Yeah, I actually have not talked about this much because I've only written a first draft and I've not even gotten an edit letter yet. So I
Okay.
have no idea what my editor thinks. So honestly, a lot of the plot could be changing for all I know. But just like on a high level, it is not related to the Fraud Squad. It's set in a different like universe. But yeah, the protagonist is also really bold and but also really lovable. I think she's someone that readers would really want to root for. And it combines my two favorite things, which is fashion and Silicon Valley, where I currently work. So yeah, it's about this woman who comes from a fashion background, but then because of certain things in her life, she ends up having to get a job at a tech company in Silicon Valley, and so she feels like a complete outsider, like Elwood from Legally Blonde, but
Yes.
fashion and tech. Yeah, so that is that. It comes out in November, which is actually really soon. It's like 10 months away, and I still have only have like one draft of it. So yeah, I hope it works out.
Yeah, so you're gonna be busy for a little bit here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I thought I'll get a break, but like after I debut, but no, I think I'm gonna be jumping straight into revisions. I think my editor is actually just holding off on sending the edits to me because, like I'm going through this book one thing now. But yeah,
How do you find
Yeah.
balancing it all with work and like all the deadlines and like trying to fit self-care in somewhere?
honestly, I'm doing like a not so great job of it. Like I'm also revising my middle grade novel now, and I was supposed to have emailed my editor the finished copy like at the start of the year, but it's not done yet. So I asked for an extension. So yeah, sometimes it just happens.
Hmm. But that's self-care right there, asking for an extension. And it's a conversation that I keep hearing us have that like it's okay to ask for that, like sometimes those
Yeah,
deadlines are more loose guidelines.
that is true. That's how I think about it. Loose guideline.
Yeah, they
But
have wiggle room in there, right? They know.
I hope so. But I always do feel bad about it because I feel like it affects a lot of other people on the team as well. Like they have to push back the schedule for me and that like affects other people. So I do feel bad about it.
That makes sense. That's the good person in you. That's okay. That's good. I think it's
But
fine.
didn't one of our agents tell us that that's like the shadow deadline, that there's actually a real debt? Remember which guest was that Larissa? I don't want
It
to
might,
guess which one it was. One of
yeah,
our agents said that that's like the deadline they give you is a shadow deadline, that there's a real deadline beyond that, like a couple months.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense because my editor has always been really like nice about
Yeah,
approving any extensions. So hopefully, yeah, you're right, and that that there
don't
is.
quote me. It could be fake news. Angela, do you remember? Am I crap spinning
no,
right now?
no,
You don't.
I remember somebody said that.
I'll
Who
have to
it was,
find.
I don't remember, but somebody did say that to us.
Somebody did say that. Thank you. I'm not going crazy.
Yes,
But yeah,
yes.
it's a good thing to keep in mind so that you don't feel too guilty. It's always the good ones that feel guilty. Like the lazy people never feel that. They're just like tra la 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 6 months later. It's always the good people like, oh, I'm a day late. Oh my goodness. Like I'm
Yes.
sure
Yeah,
they adore you. Just as we adore you. And time has
thank
just
you.
flown by today. I like 3 minutes on the clock. I would not have believed it. Is there anything like any final thoughts you want to leave our listeners with? Any advice for aspiring writers on this journey as well?
Yeah, I think it's really to write the book that you would genuinely enjoy working on. Because I mean, I started writing this in June 2020, and it has been 2.5 years. And this is the longest I've ever spent on any project in my life. And it's a really long time to be working on something if you don't like it, because you have to be reading it over and over again. And it's going to be such a pain if you don't enjoy it. So yeah, just enjoy the process and enjoy what you're writing. And if you love it, chances are someone else would as well.
I mean, I don't think there's anything else to say to that. Like, I was just watching you. Maybe, again, I'm probably sounding creepy, but I was watching you as you were saying that, and I had like this, like a mom moment where I was like, she's growing up.
Oh my God.
And like, I'm so proud of you. I know Melanie is as well. I mean, it's been really fun to watch you all the way from Pitch Wars to now. You have a book coming out next week. You've got 2 more like in the canon. We're just so proud of you, Kyla. Like, you are killing it, and I hope I hope all the luck and like good things in the world for you, because it's really, really fun to watch you thrive.
Thank you so much. This really means a lot. And I mean, you guys have seen me back when my book was like nothing, and back when I was struggling with the deadlines and I missed the Asian showcase. So you guys were there from like the very beginning. And yeah, that means a lot. That I'm glad we are still friends now.
Me too. Pitch Wars 2020 class just does it differently. And I feel like you'll be like that. You'll always be back. We'll always be checking in on your journey, and I'll always want to know. Our listeners will always want to check in with you. And yeah, I fully agree with what Angela said. I'm honored and proud to call you my friend, and so excited. Now,
this is so sweet.
We are going to be cheering from the rooftops for this glorious book. And yeah, relax into it. Enjoy the moment.
I will. I'll try my best to enjoy it and to just like, pick it as it comes.
Yes. Pop them bottles and enjoy it.
Yes, I'm going to bring bottles to work.
You should. You have to.
Yeah.
And you have to get a cake with your characters on it. I feel like that's got to be.
I didn't even think of that. Oh, yeah. Okay, I should.
I think they just print it straight onto the cake these days.
They do. They do. I've seen some really beautiful book cakes.
Right? That's like a secret writer goal. Cake with my characters on it.
Yeah.
It's happening. It's happening.
And a bearded dragon.
Yes. That's how I know I would have made it. If I
Yeah.
bearded dragon.
Yeah.